Oh boy, let's see. Hey, y'all doing? What's going on? I wanted to do a little video today about solid lift camshafts. Flat tappet, solid lift, non-roller. Seems to be a lot of people are just going to roller. If you're going to do a solid lift cam, they go roller, which is fine, but it's a lot more money to do that. You don't have to do that. It's not a big horsepower difference, actually. I've talked to people that own dynos, and they're telling me, because they've done experiments like that, and they said that there may be 7 horsepower difference from a flat tappet to a roller, and because it's just not that much friction when you get a lot of oil and going on the cam, it's just not that much friction. If it was, it would wipe the cam, so it's not a whole lot of horsepower. So it's cool. Roller cam probably is a little better, slightly, but man, solid lift cams work good, and it's a lot cheaper. You don't have to spend all that money, as much as a roller anyway. But let me just show you how I've done them all here, except for the last one. I saved it just for you. For those who don't know, or just never done it, or afraid to do it, or heard a bunch of wives' tales about adjusting valves every weekend and all, that's not right either. If you're adjusting valves every weekend, you got something way wrong. Either you're wiping the cam, or you've got some really junky adjustable rockers. These are old on here. These are the 273 adjustables, but they've got brand new studs and nuts. So they should be that's what the factory is, the Chrysler 273 adjustable rockers, the ductile iron. They work, they came in factory cars. Those had solid lifter cams from the factory, and people were driving them to work every day. They didn't have to adjusting the valves every weekend. The dealerships would be ate up with warranty work if they were, so they were not doing that. But anyway, this video is just for those who just don't know much about all that. So I'm going to show you one, and I'm here by myself with my camera. Let's see. So, well, here we go. Having to walk over here, get my light. All right, yeah, 273 adjustable rockers. So you see, I'm doing this last one right there. Got my little Allen on the screw there, and it comes right down. So right here, look where that is. That is not where you make your adjustment. Okay, you want to do it on the small side of the cam, not way up there on the lobe. You want to be totally off of that lobe when you make your adjustment. So let's do that. I'm going to have to put you back up here for a minute. Bear with me while I rotate it and get it off of that lobe. I'm going to move this off before I knock it down in that inch and it ends up in the oil pan, and I'll be really mad. That's not going to work. All right, let's move it off. Let's move it off of the lobe here. Off of the lobe. All right. Show you. It's real easy. You just put your wrench, your socket on there, 1.25 inches, and spin it over until you push that lobe out of the way. Get it way over there. It's way over there on the opposite side. We are on the small part now. Okay? So now, got all kinds of room. Look at all that. Alright? So, let's go ahead and adjust this thing. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not holding it really where I want this camera, am I? So make sure you get it. Don't let that happen. Back it off a little bit. Man, I'm doing terrible on this camera today. Okay. Get it in that cup. Get it in the cup. Spin your nut so you're not bottoming out on that. All right, right there is where it stops. Right about there, zero lash. Zero. Nothing. It's solid all the way through. Now, that's where your adjustment is. So, we're doing the exhaust valve right there, that valve right there. And let's come over here. It's going to be 32 thousandths, according to Mopar Performance. 32 thousandths on the exhaust. So, I'm going to have two hands again. But let me bring you back over here and see if I can get you a little better view there. Okay. All right, so I got my 32 thousandths right here. All right. And I'm going to simply back this off so I get some lash in there. Okay. Put him right underneath there. Back it off until it feels good. A little tight. Right about there. That's about where you want it. Right there. And there should be nothing. No. But when I pull it off of there, yeah, there you go. That's where you tighten it up at. That's 32 on the exhaust. So just simply, this just happens to be right at 12 o'clock. You want to keep that there. Tighten this nut down. And that's it. And it's adjusted. And they're all done. All the rest of them are done. So, that's all there is to it. So when you want to adjust your valves, just remember all these things. Small side of the cam, and make your adjustment right there at your nut. Now I've got new nuts and new studs, new screws they call it, and they should stay in adjustment just fine. They should be fine. Make sure your rocker shafts are flush and there's nothing. They're not out of place or anything. I don't know if you can see in there, but they're all nice and true all the way down. And nothing's, because they can get bent, so you want to make sure all this stuff, this was about 20 foot-pounds. Some people say a little more than that, some people say a little less, but I've always done them right about 20 foot-pounds, or 220 inch-pounds, however whichever way you like doing it that way. But that's all you really have to do. And also, on a small block Chrysler, this little indent right there, you want it there on the driver's side in the front, and you want it back here on the passenger side in the back, and that's when all your little oil holes are in the right place on the shaft, so that the thing can get oil. Because it oils right here, right through the head gasket, right there on this side in the front there. That's how it gets oil. Comes up right in here. And the shaft, of course, is blocked off, so it'll pressurize this whole shaft with oil and force oil out of these little holes. And you should, when you spin your oil pump with the drill before it goes in the car, you should see oil coming out of these, and that means everything's right. You're good. Anyway, that's the whole deal right there, people. That's a 360 is what this thing is. And it's bored 40 over, so it's like a 370-inch small block with a cast steel internally balanced crank, and it should be pretty righteous. This is a 528 lift, 284 duration Mopar Performance purple shaft that you can't even get anymore. It's still got purple. You cannot get this cam. Mopar Performance admitted this was a mistake to quit making these things. You can still see the purple on it from the 1980s. Yeah, brand new. I don't know if you can see purple back there, but I mean it's never been used. So yes, that's right. Ought to be pretty righteous with aluminum heads, and it's almost 11-1 with these Keith Black pistons. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this motor. I'm gonna get it running on a stand over there, and it may end up in this dart. I don't know what's gonna happen with any of it. I don't know. But it's here. I'm gonna do something with it. I think it's probably 50 more horsepower than that 340 is, and that 340 is pretty stout. But this little motor ought to turn on pretty good. All right, well, that's how you adjust your, excuse me, that's how you make your valve adjustment. Don't be afraid of a solid lift cam. They're fabulous. All right, like and subscribe, please. Thank you.